A very good morning to all. Welcome to another class of English. So, today we'll go through another poem, and that is Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. Abraham Lincoln was an American statesman and lawyer who served as the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln led the nation through its greatest moral, constitutional, and political crisis in the American Civil War. This letter of his to his son's teacher is a rule book of what it should take to effectively raise a child. Each paragraph consists of memorable lessons that every person should know as they grow up. So, this poem is full of optimism and values he believed in, and in this letter, he reflects his greatness and ideals he always held close to his heart. So, let's start with the poem now. He will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just, all men are not true, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him for every enemy there is a friend. So, here in the first stanza, the father makes a request to his son's teacher to teach him all men are not just and truthful. Here, the poet wants his son to know some harsh realities of life. At the same time, he wants his son to be hopeful. If there are scoundrels, there are also heroes. If there are dirty politicians, they are eminent and dedicated leaders. Now, for example, you can say a great leader like APJ Abdul Kalam. President Lincoln wanted his son to have faith in people, that there are some good aspects of a bad person. In reality, there is every conscience that every people have, which made up the core of good parts in every person, good or bad. So, by giving examples of the opposition aspects of the society, he encouraged his son to look at life as a starry sky, where the dark sky represents scoundrel, selfish politicians being shined by the stars, which were referred to as hero or dedicated leaders. It will take time, I know, but teach him if you can that $1 earned is of far more value than 5 found. Teach him to learn to lose and also to enjoy winning. Steer him away from envy if you can. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Let him learn early that the bullies are the easiest to lick. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of books, but also give him quiet time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and the flowers on a green hillside. To most people, losing is dishonorable, but President Lincoln sees losing is something to learn. Now, the covered meaning of this sentence is being lost is not a disgrace, but another step closer to the goal. Now, if the goal is far, there are more lost encountered before reaching destiny. So, by giving an example of bullies, which is popular in school, the president's awareness of such situations would happen to his son, where he would be wise enough to get through. Now, the following lines showed a way that his son should be walking on, the way that is full of interest and mysteries that stimulate desires to explore. In any case, the son was to be taught to look on the brighter side of life, to approach and to recognize how reading will make him go far in life. So he is asking the teacher to teach him the value of labor and hard work, the necessity of going through failures in order to appreciate success or victory. He is asking to teach him to stay away from envy or jealousy and to enjoy quiet laughter. So he requests him to teach him that bullies accept defeat quickly. He also urges the teacher to teach his son the wonders of reading books and deep, quiet reflection on the beautiful mysteries of nature. In the school, teach him it is far honorable to fail than to cheat. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas. Even if everyone tells him they are wrong, teach him to be gentle with gentle people and tough with the tough. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. When everyone is getting on the bandwagon, teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. The paragraph continued the idea of withstanding failures, beginning with in school, teach him it is far more honorable to fail than to cheat. Now, that showed a difficult side to choose in life. Like mentioned above, losing is dishonorable to most people, so very few people choose that side in any competition. So, most people would rather cheat to gain victory. But the action is the same meaning as stomping onto his own dignity, and President Lincoln didn't want his son to involve in such actions. It is seen that people tend to follow the side which had already been walked by a larger group than the other. Therefore, it creates an idea that the major side is better, which eventually trapped people into it. So no one dares of thinking any different. But the president hoped that his son would be a courageous man who dares to stand out in life. So, ironically, nowadays we can see that there are people who are successful and actually are those who dare to walk in their own way instead of those who follow that of others. So, it is good to walk in our own way, but that person should be flexible towards things he encounters. Now, for example, there are many people we meet on a life journey, but to be flexible means that we should be able to distinguish between friends and foe. Now, normally, there are only a few number of people whom we come across can be friends. Good friends are even fewer, and finally, the ones we can trust are hardest to find. They are very, very few. So, therefore, everyone should be aware of every people's words. Mixtures of good and bad things sound very tempting, so it is important to wisely choose the right approach. So here in short, he wants to say that he wants the teacher to teach him the value of honesty and integrity, his unique individuality and self belief and conviction in a trying situation. So he appeals to the teacher to teach his son the art of being gentle and polite with the good people and tough with the tough ones. He also requests to teach his son to be strong enough and have the courage to be different, truthful, and always focus on the good. Teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he is sad. Teach him there is no shame in tears. Teach him to scoff at cynics and to beware of too much sweetness. Teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders, but never to put a price tag on his soul. Teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. People are meant to burst out tears when they are sad or struck emotionally, but there are some who just give a frown to the pain instead, to whom we don't know for sure if he is upset or not, but behind their smiles are strengths that they secretly plan to get out of situations. Now, the third sentence reminded the idea of wisely coping against cynics, people who believe that human actions are motivated by selfishness or greed. So, influences that they make are attractive, but it's better to stay away from that. Being greedy means isolating ourselves from the society. Now, referring to the real life, sell brawn and brains to the highest bidders means that we can choose to use our knowledge and energy to apply for jobs that pay the most. Now, for example, we go to a university, earn a degree, which is used to get a job we desire and a dream income, or we can use our muscle for handy jobs to which we agree that the pay is fair enough. On the other hand, heart and soul are also important merits that make a person happy. Now, President Lincoln said that no one can be allowed to put a price tag on the heart and soul, meaning that these spiritual values are never for sale, since no man exists without heart and soul. Those who lose these circumstances and become slaves of the currency are those who take part in crimes, corruptions, murders, and fully be controlled by the lust for wealth. So nowadays, such examples include robbers, murderers, corrupted leaders. Nobody like these types. So therefore, it is better to fend off the temptation of money. So he is insisting his teacher to teach him the secrets of keeping away sadness with laughter, lightening his heart's burden with sincere tears, not to mind too much the cynic's ideas, and beware of people who are excessively sweet. So Lincoln also appeals to the teacher to always endorse and support to the best people in physical strength and intelligence. He must never ever compromise on issues related to heart and spirituality. So he wants his son to learn how to become deaf to the howling of irrational mobs and always believe in himself and fight for what he thinks is right. Even if no one supports him, if you think it is right, then go ahead with it. Treat him gently, but do not cuddle him, because only the test of fire makes fine steel. Let him have the courage to be impatient, let him have the patience to be brave. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will have sublime faith in mankind. This is a big order, but see what you can do. He is such a fine little fellow, my son. Most people think that when a president's son goes to school, he would be treated like a prince. On the other hand, he wrote to the teacher, treat him gently but do not cuddle him. So, President Lincoln did not use his political position to affect his son's education, but he wanted the boy to be forged in an actual social environment. So, he would grow up like any other kids at his age. The following words seem to explain how it works. The boy was being allowed to flap his own wings to the world. It is hard and far, but that would teach himself things that he never experienced before. So teach him always to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will always have sublime faith in mankind. Now, this reminds us of the inner faith that we mentioned before. Since the idea appeared in the start and end of the letter, therefore, it is believed that the undercover message of the letter is that the president wanted his son to become a confident boy. And once you learn this lesson, the other values would automatically be learned from life. So at the end of the letter, he advises the teacher neither to be too gentle with him nor treat him harshly. He requests him to teach him to develop courage to be patient and have patience to be brave. He winds up the letter by asking him to have sublime faith in himself, because only then he can have faith in himself. And the poet knows that it's a huge task for his teacher. So the poet is cautious enough to say that the teacher should not strain himself to fulfill this task. So the teacher should give 100% effort, but that doesn't mean that she has to, or the teacher has to stress